Welcome to your Daily Writing Habit, episode number 82. I'm your host, Christine Whitmarsh. If you ever want to look me up online, you can search Christine Inc., I-N-K, like the stuff you write with. Every day, I'm sharing with you the writing habits I've learned over my 18 years as a ghostwriter, book coach, and author. I have learned that 3 types of habits in particular can have a huge impact on your success as an author: writing fundamentals, productivity, and mindset habits. Now, one of my core values is to inspire people. So here's an inspirational quote for you from one of my favorite authors, Kurt Vonnegut. Of all the words of mice and men, the saddest are, it might have been. So great quote there about regret. And speaking of the late, great Mr. Vonnegut, when people ask me for writing advice, he's one that I quote pretty frequently. He has some really fantastic creative writing rules that I've been sharing over the last few episodes. And we are up to, of his 8 basic rules of creative writing. Today, we are up to rules number 5 and 6. Because the thing about, he was late, great, and also a little bit weird, but we like that about Kurt Vonnegut. I just love how the guy crafted these kind of like word symphonies and these word tapestries, and he created these amazingly eccentric characters, but they all had very unique and usually deep and sometimes offbeat points of view. So think of his most famous character, Kilgore Trout. Really interesting dude. So recent episodes, episodes number 80 through 83, if you want to look up the complete set of 8 rules of creative writing from Kurt Vonnegut, as well as my adaptations of those rules. So here we go with today's set, rules number 5 and 6. Rule number 5, start as close to the end as possible. So those are the words of Mr. Vonnegut. And here's my adaptation. Start with the end in mind. What is the big moral of the story at the end of your piece? And how are you constantly building toward it, starting with your first sentence? So this can apply to fiction and nonfiction. Obviously, not obviously, to those of you who don't know me, but to those of you who don't know me, I specialize in nonfiction books, whether ghostwriting or coaching people or anything to do with that, whether it's memoirs, personal development, business, any kind of personal growth books. So a lot of his rules are related to fiction, but I love adapting it to nonfiction. It's a great exercise. So with your nonfiction book, what is the big moral of the story? What is the biggest thing you want your readers to walk away from your book with? What's the biggest takeaway? If they forget like everything in the book, but like one sentence, one phrase, one kind of just like, if you don't remember anything else, remember this. Identify what that is. And then just look from page 1 of your book. How are you constantly building toward that reveal, toward that takeaway at the end of your book? That's rule number 5. Start as close to the end as possible. Rule number 6, be a sadist. No matter how sweet and innocent your leading characters are, make awful things happen to them. I don't know if you guys have heard the phrase, kill your babies, in order that the reader may see what they are made of. And that's obviously a great rule for fiction. So how can we adapt that to nonfiction? How can we be a sadist about our memoirs and about our personal development books? Well, here's my interpretation. Keep your writing real. Resist the urge to always be quote unquote right or politically correct or marketing or clean or what you think everybody else wants to read. My advice is be messy if messy is required, especially when writing your memoir, because readers can sniff out authenticity and truth from like a million miles away. So resist the urge to be, when I say resist the urge to be right, to be neat and clean and market friendly. And I think this is the kind of book that people are looking to read. Be you. Readers want to hear from you. You're writing this book because you are an author with a unique perspective. And you know what? Sometimes that perspective is a little bit messy. That's okay. Resist that urge to clean it up and try to become someone else or put yourself in some kind of formula or a box. We have enough of those books. We're good with those. Be you. Very few life lessons are learned from perfect. So those are rules 5 and 6. Please tune in tomorrow for rules 7 and 8 of this series. Thank you for joining me here on your Daily Writing Habit, where I'm helping you write and finish writing an awesome book. And if you know someone else who wants to do the same thing, please share this with them. Thanks so much. And until tomorrow, happy writing.